Getting everybody in. Hello, everybody. I see my sister's in here. I sent you guys an email last night. I hope that you got it and you understand I'm putting together your timeline for you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. I can't see you. Now I can see you. Yes. I got you, baby. I'll put that together for you. I should probably have it by Monday.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate your help. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. Hi, everybody. All right. It looks like we got a small group, but I realize we're still a couple minutes early. Today's the first time in a long time Patty wasn't late. It's been a little bit crazy. For those of you, and this is me talking because we're just a tight little group right now, so pay attention, okay? If you have a single family home or a condo or anything that is exempt from the statewide rent control, you need to make sure that you have that exemption on file right now. It needs to be in there today. If you don't have that exemption on file, a 30-day notice of change of terms of tenancy, and the term that you're changing would be that AB 1482 disclosure. The reason why I keep mentioning it is as these laws keep evolving, it is going to make it more and more difficult for landlords to move back into their own properties if they haven't made their property exempt. Technically, even in San Bernardino, you have to go through the Ellis Act. None of us want to do that. Okay, so the best way to avoid that is make sure you have your disclosure for AB 1482 on file. I can't tell enough people. Spread it like it's cancer. Get the word out, okay? We got to get those AB 1482 disclosures on file if they are exempt and make sure they know they're exempt. The way the cookie is starting to crumble, it's going to make it damn near impossible for a landlord to get their own house back if they failed to disclose. And here comes everybody. Everybody's coming. So I hope we got lots of questions today because I really don't have a lot to talk about other than the security deposit law that hits us on July 1st. That's in 5 days. 5 days. So in 5 days, for those of you that were sleeping, we have a new security deposit law that will affect us. It says that we can only raise rents. We can only have 1 month's rent as a security deposit on file as a maximum starting July 1st for all residential dwellings, even if they have a dog, even if they have crappy credit, even if, okay? Everybody got that? New security deposit maximum starting in the next 5 days is 1 month's rent as a maximum. Anybody have questions over the maximum security deposit increase? Because if we need to answer them, I want to answer them right now. Nobody? Nothing? I got nothing? Okay, I'm going to work with that. Everybody understands in the next 6 days, you can only charge 1 month's rent as a security deposit. And more importantly, anybody that is managing property for profit, I need you to audit every single one of your tenant files and make sure your AB 42 disclosures, 1482 disclosures are on file. If they are not, you need to do change of terms and then the disclosure, okay? We have to have those exemptions on file. If we don't, moving forward through the smoke and mirrors is going to be very difficult for independent owners that want their houses back. It's going to be damn near impossible to get it back. Okay, so definitely something for you guys to know and think about is make sure you have your exemptions. I can't stress it enough. It's not going to hurt you if you do it, but if you don't do it, it's probably going to cause quite the ruckus. So make sure you have your exemption on file. Make sure you know about the new security deposit law and make sure very importantly, that you vote properly in November on the ballot, because they're trying to initiate vacancy decontrol. Okay, we're going to talk a lot about this. AGLA's doing a lot of education around it, but we need to try to beat this. Okay, this isn't a joke. For anybody that wants to know what I'm talking about and has no idea, vacancy decontrol is what allows us to bring something to, what we have right now allows us to bring a vacant unit up to market value. Hang on, I'm letting people in. Under current law, when the property goes vacant, we can re-rent it for market value. No problem. Under the new law, what they're trying to implement is that we can't bring it up to market value. We can only do whatever the allotted rent increase is. So if you have a property that's governed by LA City's law, even in Torrance, even in Sherman Oaks, even somewhere in the valley, what that means is when your unit goes vacant, the only thing you can raise it by is the 4% the city allows. So if you've had a tenant and then it's paying $800 for a 3-bedroom because they've lived there for 30 years, and then they pass away and nobody takes over, and now you have a vacant unit, if this passes in November, you could re-rent that for $800 plus 4% and not a penny more. That is not going to work for us, okay? At all. Any questions about that? Okay, so we know about the maximum security deposit. We don't have any questions about that. Everybody understands that and they understand the exemptions. If I say something wrong, you guys correct me, okay? We also understand that we need to have our exemptions on file if we're exempt from AB 1482, because it is becoming more and more difficult for owners to get possession of their properties if they're not exempt. Does vacancy decontrol apply to San Bernardino County? Julia, it's gonna apply to the entire state of California. Ouch. And I'm getting more questions. Hang on. Oh, people are coming in. Hello, people. Widget's early today. It never happens, but I was early today. All right. I know that questions usually come in. Does anybody have questions for me this morning? What you guys got? I missed the vacancy thing. Could you repeat it, please? Absolutely, Melanie. Vacancy decontrol is what they have on the ballot for November. And what they're trying to do in November is make it so that if our unit goes vacant, how it is currently is we can ask for market value. They're trying to make it and change the rules. I got you, Joe. I'll be there in a second. If they change the rules, what will happen is once it goes vacant, we will only be able to raise whatever the city or the county's maximum increase is, and we will not be able to bring it up to market value. That is the law that's up for voting in November. I don't even know what the Assembly bill or Senate bill is yet. I don't have that information, but it is on the docket and it's coming at us full force. All right, here we go. Anthony, you got the first question. Which question?
Hey, Patty, how are you doing today?
Short, sassy, and ready for the weekend, man. It is hot. It is hot.
Long
I
time
got my hair all up. It's hot. Don't ask.
Long time no talk to. Hey, listen, so we have a rental property out in San Bernardino. We're renting to an organization. They just reported that they're always breaking their windows, whatever. They take care of them. But this time they made a police report because some kids went by and shot out 3 windows with a BB gun. Do I believe them? Anyways, that's not the point. My point is they made a police report. The organization's renting to them there. Who's responsible for fixing the windows?
Landlord.
All right. We'll get them fixed. That's all I need. That's all I needed to know, because I would just want.
If it becomes determined that the damage was caused from the tenant, you can bill the expense back to them.
All right. Sounds good.
But
I just want to make
landlord
sure.
always wants to fix that. Have you done any more research on these programs?
Yeah, I have been in, and it's working out. They're actually more, because like you were telling us, but these ones are actually getting more funds. And I have done the research, as you said, and I went back and talked to some of the head people that I talked to, and everything's okay. And yeah, what you did, I spent like a couple hours yesterday talking to the people in
Okay, I'm
charge.
just making sure we got all our ducks lined up.
Yeah, I appreciate you, but thank you for clearing that. Yeah, I was more satisfied yesterday with all the answers I was hearing.
Perfect, perfect. Good.
Thank you. Uh-huh.
All right. It looks like Christina has a question. Security deposit. I owed my tenant his security deposit refund on 6/21. I mailed it with the certificate of mailing on 6/14. The tenant still hasn't received it. He texted on 6/21 and today. I'm not sure why he hasn't received it after all this time. Ask him to verify the address. And it could have gotten lost in the mail. So you may want to put a stop payment on the check and reissue. Things happen. I get you, but make sure what he texted you is correct. Just verify with him. And
Okay.
if everything's correct, it could have gotten lost in the mail.
And at that point, because I know that it's like, he's been a big stickler, like he's been getting some tenant advocacy information. So I know he texted me on 6/21 specifically because that's the 21st day. If it got lost in the mail, do I tell him that I paid to get the certificate of mailing? Can I text him an image of it showing him that it was in fact mailed?
Yes, because that's the proof that's going to save your asset.
Okay, so I can text that to him, right? I don't just.
Absolutely. I purchased a proof of mailing just in case something were to happen. I don't know why you haven't received it yet.
Okay,
Odd. If you want me to stop pay and reissue, I could do that.
got it. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Linda, I'm going to address you really quick. Can AGLA people see a replay of your webinar from yesterday? Linda, I didn't do the webinar yesterday. AGLA canceled and rescheduled. We will redo it sometime in July. I didn't cancel, AGLA did. Okay. Dan's on vacation. So we didn't do the webinar regarding ESA animals yesterday. Arlene, Larso tenant moved in 3 years ago. New shower had been installed. Now the plastic trim at the bottom is hard and broken. Had it replaced. Who pays for supplies and labor? Thanks. If it wasn't due to damage and it's just wear and tear, or it wore out or it got brittle over time, that's not on the tenant. That's on the owner. That's maintenance. But if an elephant jumped up and down on it and broke it, different set of facts. Oh, apparently people are trying to get in and I can't get them in. Hang on. I'm getting fired here. Close. Ah, here we are. I'm letting people in. Look at me. I'm so nice. I'm sorry. I apologize. I got to remember when I have your guys' questions open, I can't see that people are trying to get back in. So for those of you just rejoining us, I apologize. No problem. Lorena, I need you to, and thank you for texting me just now. That worked perfect. I need you to text me after this, or I'm going to call you as soon as we get off of this. I need to discuss something with you. So as soon as we close the webinar, please call me, okay? And
to your regular line or at faster
yeah,
Vic?
the one you just text me at.
Okay, I got it.
As soon as we get off, I need you to call me, okay?
Okay.
I got something for you that's going to help you tremendously. Anybody
you.
else? No problem. So we talked about the security deposit rule. Why does Patty keep going over this? Because I know everybody's going to have questions, if not today, but in the near future. Let's see. Here we go. Lee, hello, Lee. Is there a legally required period for a notice of non-renewal for an AB 42 exempt single-family home on a fixed-term lease, which is not subject to additional jurisdiction rent restrictions. Is the notice period different for a tenant of a 1-year lease versus 2 years or more? No, the notice isn't different. Is there a just cause reason for necessary for non-renewal? No, there is not. So one of the reasons that you can terminate tenancy and not pay relocation fees is non-renewal of a fixed term lease under AB 1482. So non-renewal of a fixed term lease is not subject to relocation fees. Got it? It doesn't matter if they're on a 1-year lease or a 2-year lease. If you're exempt, you need to make sure you're putting your exemption in at inception, meaning when the lease is signed. I hope that answered your question, Lee. Val, regarding security deposits, I was an idiot and did not make a specific payment plan. Obviously, I know I should have reversed the rent and deposit, but I trusted this guy. Anywho, he has dribbled payments over the last 3 months. He only owes $600, but if he stops or dribbles a few bucks here and there, how do I now hold his feet to the fire? Baby, I got you. For example, his rent's $1,500. I suggest he split. No. What you're going to do is serve him. You're going to serve him hold on, Val. I lost my train of thought. A squirrel came right in front of me and it went away. Hang on. You're going to serve him with a cure or quit notice because the deposit isn't paid in full. And he's in violation of his written contract because it shows the full amount of the deposit. So if he gets wonky on you, you can just serve him a 3-day cure or quit and ask him to pay the full amount that's still owed. Okay? I always set you up for recourse. Thank you, Joe. I gotcha. Are the eviction attorneys still swamped with evictions? In what cities? Let me restage that. It's not the eviction attorneys that are swamped with evictions per se. It's landlords that are. Ooh,
Yes, this is, yes, the city is Bellflower, so it's in LA County, but incorporated city. So we're pretty good so far, but I just installed cameras and now I'm seeing all kinds of shenanigans. So
it's amazing. It's amazing that when the cat's away, the mice will play.
that's right. So I don't, so I guess I just need to get attorneys at this point, and I wondered if they still are, swamped and court times are long, so I don't know what to expect and what you suggest, because I've got people who aren't even living in the house. I've got people who have crap all over. I've got people who won't put the utilities in their name. I've sent them a 3-day, but I can't even find out if they've done it or not until I get the next utility bill.
Yes, you can call the utility company.
Well, that would be great if they didn't have a robot answer the phone.
Well, I can't help you with that part.
Right.
And now with artificial intelligence, we're getting more and more robots. I drove through Carl's Jr. and I try not to eat fast food, but I was coming back from Bishop from visiting my sister and I had my grandson with me and I will do anything to keep him quiet in the car. Okay.
Right.
So I drove through Carl's Jr. and I kept looking and talking at the screen because I know there's a person there. It was a computer animated voice the entire time. And when I got up to the front checker, I had my credit card in my hand and I turned to my grandson, who's only 9, and I said, if a computer tries to take my card, we're leaving. I'm just not okay with all of this. I
Well,
realize
Patty,
how many jobs it'll eliminate, and it sucks. Hang on, Joe. Let me finish this and I'll get to you.
Patty, so I've never been able to get through to anybody at the Edison company. I'm finding out if she's put the utility in her name. I've given her a 3-day about 2 weeks ago. And can I shut off the utility or is that a habitability problem?
you can't shut off its utility. It becomes a habitability problem. But now you can serve her another cure or quit, serve her another cure or quit, and be adamant about it, and then tell her you're not accepting the rent until this is rectified.
Ooh, I love that.
Because
Okay,
that's gonna trigger her to know that you're gearing up to evict her.
yes, perfect, thank you.
Okay, and we're coming right up on July, so I would serve the notice and then have her in that time period of the notice when she's trying to pay the rent, so you can say, I'm sorry, I'm not accepting your rent until the utilities are put in your name. You're in violation of your contract.
Perfect.
right.
Okay, thanks.
And Joe, you had a question. What you got?
Hey, Patty Anthony again. So, hey, listen, so I just got an email from one of my clients to help him out. He rented to a couple. The couple didn't move in. They made a marijuana dispensary there. They got caught, busted by the cops. I get all the good ones. Busted by the cops. They cut the power to the property. They red tagged it. Lawyer, okay, so they red tagged it, but what happened is the couple said, no, we'll still, no one was living at the house. They moved back in and they're running, and he says, no, we'll move back in with a generator.
No, it's a habitability issue. The property's been red tagged. Call the cops and have them escorted off the fucking premises. It's red tagged. No one can live there.
I knew it. I knew that's what you were gonna say, but two heads are better than one. Just my own, my own
And
self.
then you're gonna tell them, the detectives also want to talk to you about the illegal grow. And
Okay.
we'd like to talk to you about the damages done to the property because it's gonna cost my owner $10,000 to put the electric meter back.
Right. They pulled the electrical meter. All right, thank you. That's all I want to make sure I'm on the same page with you. Because
You're on the same page as no, you're trespassing right now. I'm giving you a 3-day to quit.
okay,
To quit.
3-day to quit. Okay, sounds good. We'll do
Call
that.
the law firm once you have the police report regarding the grow and have them do the quit notice. Tell them that they cannot be in possession. It's red tagged. And if they demand on staying there, call the cops. I'm sure they don't want to talk to them.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
And just so you know, I've been through 4 of those. The worst one is when code enforcement boarded up the property after the raid and then took possession and wouldn't relinquish it to me, the property manager, or the landlord of record without me kicking up some dust.
Patty, can he change the lock at this situation?
Yeah, the property's been red tagged, so absolutely. But first, I want the cops out there to tell those people they gotta go. But yes, he could.
Patty, I
Um,
have a question. My tenants are moving out June 30th. That's their move out date. So on July 1st, can I just go in with keys? Knock on the door, keys, and then do,
Yep.
do
If
inspection?
you open the door, you're gonna go, oh, you're still here. Why don't you call me and let me know when you're gonna vacate?
Okay, but I don't have to put like a 24-hour notice the day before, for July 1st sort
No,
of thing.
because you're meeting them. They told you to come meet them to get the keys, yes?
No, their move out date is June 30th.
Okay, and then you need the 24-hour on June 30th to go in on July 1.
On July 1. Okay, because they don't respond to my texts. So
I figure.
okay, so 24-hour notice, June 30th for July 1st.
Correct. I believe that's a Sunday and you'd be entering on Monday the 1st, but I don't have a calendar in front of me.
Yes, June 30th is a Sunday. So then do I have to put the 24-hour notice on Friday then? Or
No.
is it fine? Oh, okay.
You can do it on Sunday. And on Sunday, when you're there posting that notice, you might see that they're vacating. Make sense?
Okay, got it. Yes. And then also for the vacancy decontrol, how would the new tenants know what the previous tenant's rent was?
Sweetheart, deep breath.
Mhm.
That is the start of the shit show happening. In other words, if this happens, we're going to have to send the cities copies of our lease contracts, of this, of that, of all kinds of things. And let me explain this to you, okay? the city of Santa Ana and Orange County has implemented their own rent control ordinance. And what it says that all written documentation between landlord and tenant, they need a copy of. That's your criteria, your application, your lease contract, all your disclosures. Why in the hell does the city need all of that? It says so that they can do research and see what the average rent is and the average deposit and the average length of tenancy. But now they have a copy of every single one of your documents. I don't like it.
Got it.
What's-
Thank you.
Okay, no worries. I'm just talking to you out loud about the different things these new municipalities are doing. That's what rent registry is all about, Larso, but it's now in Orange County in Santa Ana. And they want every document from your criteria to your application. If you have a written communication between you and the tenant, they better have a copy of it. It sucks. Okay, hang on. Let me go back to Val. This is the same house where they have an adult autistic son. He recently jumped into the wall, leaving a huge hole. I remember. Lath and plaster, so it won't be an easy drywall fix. The life won't let my guys inside without her husband home, and I'm not going to pay for this up front. This is not a habitability issue, right? Yes, it is a habitability issue because it's a hole in the drywall. This is what you tell the wife, okay? I am sending him there. He is going to come in and do the work that you caused and correct your damage. And if you don't like it, you can leave for the day and not be home, and he'll go in there when you're not there. If you have a problem having a workman inside your house without your husband being home, then I suggest you leave for the day. Do not let her control you. Take control, or they will steamroll you. If you let them continually do it, they will build it into a pattern. Patty, when running a single family residence, I am providing a washer dryer hookup. Am I allowed to have the hookups under a covered patio that's connected to the home, or does it have to be completely indoors? You're going to have to check with building and safety. The reason I say that is it depends, and this I know for fact, it depends on if you have an electric connection or a gas connection. Holes in the wall are considered habitability, whether they're interior or exterior. So he put a hole in the wall. He created a habitability issue. Make sense? And I'm not saying he doesn't, and that might be a problem, Christina, for your city. That's why I said you're going to have to go to building and safety and ask what they require. Okay? Because look at it this way, if it's electrical and it's under coverage, does that mean it has a chance to become an electrocution issue if it gets wet in the rain? Okay, just talking out loud, okay? But you got to check with the city to see what they require. I can't answer that question. And Val, any holes in the drywall or the exterior of the property is considered habitability. Lee, AB 1482 exemption verbiage, legally binding if it is placed into the lease as a clause, or must it be a separate document? Either way, it's legally binding. And I wouldn't technically put it in, I would do it as a lease renewal also. I would do it every chance you get. No joke. Put it in all your renewals that it's exempt. And that's something we need to talk about for you guys doing lease renewals, okay? Listen up, pay attention. I may ask questions later. This one's important, okay? With the new security deposit law being maximum of 1 month's rent, if you have 2 months rent in the bank on the particular client, and you want to do a lease renewal, I suggest doing an addendum or an extension. Do not do a complete new lease signing. Complete new lease means you can only take 1 month's rent deposit. Got it? You want to do a renewal or an extension. Okay? You do not want to sign a whole new lease contract anymore. Hope that clicked. Rosanna, single family residence in Carson, rental increase notice was served via regular mail this year. Sue two in the past. We sent registered, but the tenant did not pick up at post office due to her stating she didn't have time. This time she said she never received it, and I gave her a copy of what was sent when she came to my office. She refused to pay the increase and threatens getting legal services involved. Via mail is not a sufficient way of an increase. Personal service or certified mail on all rent increases. If you're increasing rent or terminating tenancy, you need to send it certified. Other than that, it can go regular snail mail. My opinion. Got it?
Patty, is proof of mailing the same as certified?
Not necessarily. Certified mail means they have to sign for it. And let's face it, you got proof that it got mailed. Doesn't mean it got lost in the mail. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So there's
Got it.
still an argument. It makes you look good, but there's still an argument. Remember, I work in a law firm. I know about all the arguments and all the bullshit that they can bring about, okay? So watch yourself with rent increases and terminating tenancy. If she's that upset over it, serve her a new one and hand it to her. I'm sure you got this one because I put it in your hand. In other words, don't, what do they say? Don't beat a dead horse. If you guys are at a deadlock, just show her your guns and serve her a new rent increase notice. And this time, put it in her hand. Can't argue that. Well, she can, but we all know how that's going to end up. How hot is it in this car? Because I am just freaking cooking. It's 110 degrees. No, it's 112 degrees where I'm at, you guys. 112 in San Bernardino right now. Please don't make me sit in this car much longer, please. All right, does anybody else have anything?
Hi, Patty. I have 2 questions.
I got 22 questions.
In the city of Los Angeles, on Boyle Street, I have 2 people that are moving out. One
Okay.
of them, the father who's he co-signed on the lease. He called me yesterday and said, my daughter doesn't want to live there anymore and she's going to be moving out by the end of the month. And I said, okay. I didn't get anything in writing. I didn't get a 30-day notice. He said, oh, well, sorry. I can tell her to possibly email you something, but she's going to be gone at the end of the month. I said, okay. So he's going to bring me the keys at the end of the month, supposedly. And the other person that's living there, she called me and said a couple weeks ago and said she was going to be moving on. I said, I need it in writing, so please send me something. She didn't send me anything either. So these 2 people are going to vacate. And I didn't get a 30-day notice in writing from either one of them. When
That's me knowing the answer.
yeah, so I didn't set up a walkthrough with them. I didn't send them their right for what is
An
it?
initial inspection.
Yeah, I didn't send that to them because obviously I didn't get anything in writing from them, so I couldn't do that. And then when I do everything for the security deposit, how do I handle that basically is my question.
You wait until they hand you the keys and say that they're out. And then you conveniently charge them 30 days of rent out of their security deposit for not giving you written notice.
Okay.
Just don't rent it in that 30 days or you have to prorate and refund. Make sense?
Yes, yeah, okay, no, I won't be able to run it anyways, we're swamped right now with, okay, perfect, okay, so that was my first question. And then, thank you for answering that, and then my second question is, I'm doing rent raises on some properties right now. 2 of which are single family residences in Los Angeles. And I had spoken to you about this and you said, that I needed an exempt letter from LAHD, which I called over there. I spoke to a bunch of different people and nobody had, they said, we have no idea what you're talking about as far as an exemption
Wait,
letter.
wait. What city is it in?
Los Angeles.
It would be DCBA, because you're either under LARSO. Hang on, somebody's trying to call me. Sorry. You're either under LARSO, DCBA, or LAHD. If you're not under LARSO and you're in unincorporated LA County, then you're governed by DCBA.
I believe that both of these properties are LAHD.
Then you don't have to get an exemption.
You told me.
LA, sorry. I'm a blonde.
Oh, yeah, because I was trying to do a rent raise and, in that area code, the maximum, according to stay housed, the maximum you can do is 4% plus 1 for gas and 1 for electric, which we don't pay either. So it would just be 4%. But since they're single family residences, I wanted to go to the max. And you said I needed some sort of an exempt letter.
You can't get exemption. You're in that city. That city governs you and they have a maximum increase of 4%.
But is that also for single family residences?
It's LA City's rent increase amount, period, end of report.
But I thought that single family residences were an exemption.
Not in LA City. You're confusing the city's rule with LARSO.
Got it. Okay. So county is different, city is 4%, no matter if you live in a single family residence or not.
If you're in a city that has a maximum rent increase on residential dwelling, that is what your city rule is. Maximum increase on residential dwelling.
How do I make sure that these two properties, I mean, I did go into stay housed and it did say 4%.
Did I give you the other tool of Zemus?
Yes. So I
And you know how to use that?
I think so. I think I do.
Okay. Utilize Zemus too. And if you still get in trouble, call your legal counsel and ask them to tell you. Oh, I just cheated.
Well, you're my legal counsel.
I'm not an attorney, but I understand what you're saying. I know. I get it.
So I'll figure it out. I'm gonna go in there. So I just want to make sure that this is LA City and not Larsa.
Bingo. You're understanding the assignment, sweetheart.
Patty,
Yeah.
so if you're
Yeah.
LA City single family or LA City, but you're exempt through 1482 because you're not owned by a corporation or an LLC, you can go higher than 4%.
You could be able to go higher than 4%. She's going to have to check on the Zemus map to double check that that address is not governed by anything.
I see. Okay.
She could, but we want to be safe rather than sorry, right?
Yeah, but we also want to make the most money we can.
Hell yes, we do, girl. With that being said, let me give you guys an update.
I'm sorry, I want to go back with what Arlene said. So 1482, you could be exempted. You're not an LLC or what?
And how many units are on the parcel. So you could be exempt for maybe 1482. LA County has that 8.6 if you're subject to AB 1482. I think it's 8.6 right now. And then if you're exempt from maybe 1482, you could take it up as much as 10%, but we want to be cautious. Very cautious.
They own the property in an LLC, so this wouldn't
Nope.
qualify.
So nope.
And is this the same law that you can't have more than 4 doors or something, that no matter how many parcels? Is that something
different law?
Got it. Okay.
That's security deposit.
Correct. There's a lot of moving pieces in our industry, isn't there?
Oh my gosh, my head's gonna explode.
How do you think I feel? Right. I'm glad that we're all on the same boat and we're all oaring together. Which way we're going, we don't know, but at least we're all doing it together. All right, you guys, I gotta get out of this car unless somebody has anything else for me. I am melting. No joke.
Patty, just quickly, can you just take a look at my last question?
No, I can't. For some
Okay.
reason or other, I can't get back to that screen. I'm trying, baby, but I suck.
Okay.
What does
Okay,
it say?
I-
Read it to me.
Okay. All right, I'm doing the RSO SEP, the $4.44 increase August 1st. And
Yes.
so I'm doing a change of tenancy and I'm providing the certificate of registration with
Or
it.
so. Perfect.
And, right, and I'm doing the declaration of tenancy by hand delivering it to them by July 1. And is there anything else
Perfect.
I need to do? That's it,
Nope.
right? Okay,
Perfect.
thank you. Okay,
You're
great,
welcome.
thanks.
And everybody else that has skip fees, follow her lead because that's when you can raise them. They go up to $4.44, I believe.
Yeah, 162, 161 and 283.
There you go. And if you need help, Livable will help you build those expenses. I'm just oh,
No, they won't do that, I don't think.
I'm being funny.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm being
No,
funny.
but the new agri forms have put those numbers in for you now. They
Oh,
redid
that's
their form.
awesome. That's
So it's a
awesome.
really good form.
I
It's a
don't
really
know
good
who
form now.
I don't know who would have told them to make it easier for the landlords.
I can't imagine. Patty.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But when you have a chance, give me a call because it's a one line of it is very confusing and I had to call to find out how to use it.
Call me after 6, okay?
All right, and I'll tell you about it. Yeah, because otherwise the form is really very helpful.
All right, you guys, if nobody else has anything, I'm gonna get off of here. I am seriously melting. It's 112 degrees in San Bernardino.
Patty, can I follow up? I want to ask you a question, but via phone. So call you after 6. Is that the best time?
Call me after 6. That's the best time.
Okay, thank you.
Or send me a text message and thank you, David. Or send me a text message and I'll respond as soon as I have a chance. But it's usually 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Okay, to the number on our membership, right? That number that's on there.
Yeah, that's fine. Who's
Okay.
talking to me right now?
Jessica.
Jessica, text myself.
Can I get that number?
Yeah, so text the Widget's Way number and then I'll text it to you, okay?
Okay, thank you. Bye.
All right, no problem. Bye, everybody. Lorena, don't forget to call me.
I'm gonna call you right now. Thank you.
Right. Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Have a good week. I'll see you next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.